When my wife and I spent 1 month in Romania, we asked ourselves the question, is Romania a place where we might actually want to live someday? We wanted to know, is Romania affordable? Is it safe? What about healthcare and immigration? And what are the downsides to living in Romania? Well, I will give you the answers to these questions and discuss what we think are the pros and cons for living in Romania as a foreigner. My name is Ryan. My wife Emily and I are the Snail Travelers. When you think about Romania, the first thing that comes to mind is probably not the beaches, right? But as you can see from the map here, there is a small section of Romania that is along the Black Sea. If a beach resort type vibe is the kind of life you're looking for, you can find it here in Romania. However, we personally prefer the mountains over the beach, and the central part of Romania has stunning alpine landscapes, apartments with fabulous mountain views outside the window, and plenty of mountain activities to keep active and busy at all times of the year. I made an entire video just on this area of Romania that you might enjoy, and you should see a link to this video in the upper corner of your screen. But if you prefer more of an urban environment, then Bucharest might be the perfect place for you. It is arguably just as cosmopolitan as any other European city, and it will provide all of the big city amenities such as shopping, museums, and also some decent city parks for taking a stroll on the weekends. But if you want a more peaceful setting, then you might find Romania's small villages to be appealing. The point is, Romania has it all: beaches, beautiful mountains, the city vibe, and picturesque villages. And we think that having 4 different living environments to choose from is one of the best features about the country. When I was in high school, I remember learning in geography class that Romania is a very repressive country under its dictator, very underdeveloped with a lot of poverty, hunger, and suffering. But that was a long time ago, and if that shows my advanced age, well, just mind your own business. Romania today is not like it was 35 years ago, and yeah, the country does still have some catching up to do, but the improving economic development over the last few decades is another pro about Romania. I'm going to talk about the cost of living next, and specifically housing, since that is usually the biggest expense. The apartment that you are seeing here is a studio apartment in Constanța. It's just about a 10-minute walk to the beach, which increases the cost a little bit. Based on some research that we did on real estate websites, we think that this particular apartment would rent for something between $400 and $500 per month. This next apartment you're seeing is in Bucharest. It has a living area and kitchen downstairs, and the bedroom and bathroom upstairs. It's about a 30-minute walk to the center of Bucharest, and again, based on the real estate websites, we think it would cost between $500 and $600 per month to rent this small apartment on a 1-year lease. We think our total spending would come to something between $1,600 and $1,800 per month, and that the cost of living in Romania is roughly 55% of what it costs to live at a similar level of comfort in the United States. I'll put our sample budget in the description section of this video if you want more details. The minimum wage in Romania is currently the equivalent of about $860. So yeah, a waiter in a restaurant or someone working in a bakery might struggle to pay the bills each month, but the cost of living is less than most other countries in Europe, and this is another pro for living in Romania as a foreigner. One thing that would be difficult for us personally, living in Romania in the winter, is the cold weather. The numbers on the screen here are the average high temperatures for January in a few places around Romania. And as you can see, even Constanța, which is the beach area of Romania, gets very cold, and many of the beach resorts will close in the winter. But hey, if you like the cold, maybe you enjoy skiing, then well, this would actually be a pro for you. Romania does have some great ski resorts. One of our favorite and one of the most common traditional food categories in Romania is 𝗟𝗶𝗃𝗶, which is a cross between a hearty soup and a stew. We particularly like the version that comes with beans and smoked pork, sometimes served in a bread bowl and sometimes not, and I can imagine that it would be especially delightful during those cold winters that I told you about. We also loved goulash, a tomato-based chicken stew with a cornmeal cake in the middle, and you knew it wouldn't take me long to start talking about desserts, right? Look at this one here. It's a ricotta cheese donut topped with sour cream and berries. I could eat a whole one of these in about 3.5 seconds. And another dessert that I don't think has anything similar to it anywhere else in the world, it is truly unique, is bread dough that is put on a wooden cylinder as you see in this clip here, and it is, I guess, baked? If that's the right word, I'm not sure. Over sort of a barbecue. I know it sounds a weird way to make a dessert, but my stomach sure doesn't think it's weird. There's so much more food I could talk about, but please take my word for it. The food here in Romania is one of the top features of the country. Transportation is the next topic of discussion, and I'm rating it as mixed. First of all, we don't like driving and dealing with traffic, so we always rely on public transportation to get around. There are both positive and negative aspects to the public transportation here in Romania. On the plus side, the availability of public transportation is quite good. There are buses available to even the smallest villages in Romania. Getting around within cities is also usually quite a breeze with many city buses. Now, on the negative side, some parts of the transportation system, specifically some of the trains, are a bit outdated. One of our trains broke down in the middle of nowhere, and it took about an hour to get going again. And another time we had to wait in the train station for 2.5 hours for a train that was running late. And one drawback to bus travel between cities is trying to find which part of the city the bus leaves from. Many cities in Romania don't have one central bus station, but just ask around and someone can direct you to the right place to catch your bus. Let me quickly go over the rest of the categories, starting with healthcare in Romania, which probably has a way to go to catch up with most of the rest of Europe. We don't have any personal experience with the healthcare here other than a few visits to the pharmacy. And as you can see from this website, Romania is kind of in the middle when it comes to quality of healthcare. Communication is next, and we were quite surprised with the number of people who speak English here in Romania. We did try to learn some of the basics of the Romanian language. It helps that unlike some of Romania's neighboring countries, it uses the Roman alphabet. And Rosetta Stone rates Romanian as a level 1 language, meaning it's relatively easy to learn for English speakers. Next is immigration, which for us as Americans is a con because Romania does not have a retirement visa. It is possible to get a business visa, which could be tedious and would require help from an immigration lawyer, yet it is doable. Down in this video description, I'll put a link to another video that I watched on YouTube that I thought was very helpful in understanding how to navigate the immigration process. Next is internet speeds. We weren't expecting much, but we were pleasantly shocked at how well the internet performed just about everywhere we went in Romania. Another pro is safety. We felt comfortable walking around even alone and even at night in most places. Of course, it's not crime-free, nowhere is, but overall, we don't think you need to factor in safety into your decision whether or not you'll come to Romania for a long-term stay. And finally, the architecture. Definite pro. It might seem like a minor thing, but the medieval buildings, the churches like this one you see here in Brașov, the castles like this one you see here in Bran, the houses with eyes looking at you in Sibiu, all of these are examples of Romania's charm and contribute to the beauty of the country. And it's just one more reason why we loved our stay in Romania, and we think that you should consider a long-term stay in Romania as well. In fact, here's a summary of everything I talked about in this video, and as you can see, in our opinion, the pros for living in Romania far outnumber the downsides. Welcome to the 312 new subscribers since our last video. Why don't you subscribe too? Up here, you will find a playlist of pro and con videos from other countries around the world. And over here, we have another video about Romania for you to watch. Thanks for traveling with us.